Hello, my fans on YouTube. This is Spencer Lee, a film slash world guy, right back here again. And well, if you guys remember my last video, which was all about me reacting to the 10, count them, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different Super Bowl trailers that we got. If you guys remember, at the ending of that video, I showed y'all this book. Now, this book is what I'm going to read today. It's, of course, Peter Pan, one of my absolute favorite Disney movies. I actually grew up with this Disney movie. So yeah, I mean, there's been plethora of a lot, and I mean a lot of Peter Pan adaptations, over the years. But this is based off of the 19. Hold on a second. But this is based off of the 1953 Disney animated classic. So, yeah, there's the back of the book, just in case y'all. If you guys look closely, you can see some of the other notable characters from Disney. You can see Mickey, Donald, Bambi. You can see some Sesame Street characters and all that. But still. So here's the front, as always. And this is actually the second time me reading a little golden book on camera. My first time was the Mater and the Ghostlight book, which I'll leave a link to that video in the description down below. If y'all want to go check that out. Now that one I used to have. So that was pretty much a childhood. I had that back when I was younger, a lot younger. So yeah, but this. I've had the Disney movie Peter Pan, but I never had this book. But so, I mean, little golden books are becoming collector's items. So might as well get some more little golden books. So here's one of them that I got from. Also, I got this from the Food Pantry, which is also where I got the Mater and the Ghostlight book. If you guys saw that video of mine. But like I said, there have been other adaptations of Peter Pan, and in cinema, because we have Hook from Steven Spielberg from 1991, my bad. We had a Universal live action film that back in 2003, basically called just Peter Pan. We had one called Pan back in 2015, and on Disney Plus back in 2023 we had Peter Pan and Wendy, and even this Disney's Peter Pan got a sequel called Peter Pan and Return to Neverland back in 2002, which I've never finished that one. I finished this cult classic, this awesome movie, but I've not finished The Return to Neverland. At the time of this recording, I'm not finished Return to Neverland. But so yeah, and it's funny because the last video I did before my Super Bowl videos, which was my previous video, was about the trailer was my trailer reaction to the new upcoming Michael movie for Michael Jackson. Why I think that's kind of funny is because Why I think that's kind of funny is because Peter Pan is actually Michael Jackson's favorite movie. So maybe in the Michael movie that's coming out this year, in this April, that is, maybe in that movie they explore how Peter Pan was his favorite movie, like I said. So enough dilly-dallying. Let's get to business. I'm gonna read to y'all this book known as Little Golden Books, Walt Disney's Peter Pan, one of my absolute favorites. So yeah, there's the front and the back. I might do a whole Little Golden Book collection video in the future, so stay tuned for that. So yeah, and I know my grandmother told me to read to practice before filming, but I think I got it under control. So yeah, Walt Disney's Peter Pan, adapted by Eugene Bradley Coco, illustrated by Ron DeNice, I think. Sorry, y'all, I am not the best reader, though. So, yeah. There you go. And, of course, read to you by yours truly, Spencer Lee, the film/world guy. There was a place, a faraway place, where the sun always shone, the sky was always blue, and no one ever grew old. This place was called Neverland, and it was where Peter Pan and Tinkerbell lived. Almost looks like a map there once y'all think about it. Almost looks like a map. Not so very far away, in the city of Linden, lived John, Wendy, and Michael Darling. Every night they were gathered in. I thought I skipped the page. Every night they would gather in the nursery to hear Wendy tell wonderful tales of Peter Pan's adventures with friendly Indians and nasty pirates in Neverland. You can see John and Michael and Wendy there at their house. One night when Wendy was telling John and Michael a favorite Peter Pan story, Nana, their Saint Bernard, started barking outside in the yard. Not a moment later, Peter Pan appeared with Tinkerbell. I came to find my shadow, said Peter Pan. Nana took it from me the other night as I was secretly listening to your stories. Here it is, said Wendy. John and Michael, look. John and Michael looked on in amazement as she sewed it back onto Peter's body. Onto Peter's body. I'm so glad we saw you tonight, Peter, Wendy said. You see, tonight's my last night in the nursery because tomorrow I have to grow up. But that means no more stories, cried Peter, unless I take you all back to Neverland with me. See what's happening? Wendy, John, and Michael couldn't believe their ears. That will be wonderful, they shouted. Peter Pan sprinkled some of Tinkerbell's pixie dust over the children and told them to think happy thoughts. Now you can fly, said Peter. Suddenly, they were all soaring through the skies of London. A little bit of British. Headley directly toward Neverland. You can fly, you can fly, you can fly. Beautiful song. Headley directly toward Neverland. Down below, they saw golden rainbows and blue waterfalls and mermaids singing in a lagoon. It was the most beautiful place they ever seen. They were there were beaches and deep forests, and of course there was the Indian camp. Yes, this indeed was Neverland. This way, called Peter Pan, as Wendy, John, and Michael Lin, landed in one of the forests. He led them to the secret underground home where he lived with his good friends, the Lost Boys. We followed the leader, the leader, the leader. Sorry, I had to do it. Uh, um, John and Michael played with the Lost Boys while Peter and Wendy went to visit the beautiful mermaids in the lagoon. It was there that Peter Pan spied the Indian chief's daughter, Tiger Lily, tied up in the boat of the evil Captain Hook. Avasti Cookie. Oh, wrong Captain Hook. Peter and Wendy could overhear the pirate demanding, tell me the hidden place of Peter Pan. But Tiger Lily wouldn't tell. I have to save her, Peter told Wendy. They flew off together to Skull Rock, where Captain Hook and when Captain Hook had taken Tiger Lily, where Captain Hook had taken Tiger Lily. There, Peter challenged Captain Hook to a thrilling duel. Peter was so quick and brave. I'm sorry, y'all. That's the previous page, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. I keep on forgetting to show y'all. There, Peter challenged Captain Hook to a thrilling duel. Peter was so quick and brave that at last the nasty pirate landed in the water, only to be chased back to his ship by a ferocious crocodile. Peter rescued Tiger Lily and returned her to her father, the chief. Captain Hook was very angry. That cursed Peter Pan. I shall have my revenge against him once and for all, he cried. He captured Tinkerbell and forced her to show him where Peter Pan lived. Then he caged her in a lantern. Let's see what's going on here. Sorry about that, y'all. I might do a recap on this entire book after I get done with it. Then he caged her in a lantern. I read that part. Still. As Captain Hook's band of pirates, was it the band of misfits, approached Peter Pan's home, the Darlings and the Lost Boys were coming up from underground. one by one, they were captured and taken to the pirate ship. Let's see what's going on here. Making sure I'm not skipped any pages. Peter Pan will save us, Wendy said bravely. Captain Hook roared with a wicked laughter. Pan will never be able to save you, he shouted. You will walk the plank. Arr. Okay, where's Burger Bear when you need him? No one noticed as Tinkerbell escaped from the lanyard. She flew as fast as she could to alert Peter Pan. Once Tinkerbell reached Peter Pan, he raced out to see the rescued to he raced out to sea to rescue his friends. I've come to stop you, once and for all, Captain Hook, cried Peter. This time you've gone too far. After another freeze duo, um, Peter Pan threw Hook and all the pirates overboard. Hook was chased away by the crocodile, and nobody cared to save him. A bit dark, but that's accurate to the movie. Thank you ever so much for rescuing us, Peter, said Wendy. We would love to stay in Neverland and a while longer, but it's getting late, and I think it's time for us to leave. John and Michael nodded in agreement. Well, if that's the case, said Peter, we sail tonight. Once again, Peter Pan sprinkled Tinkerbell's pixie dust all over pixie dust over everyone, and Captain Hook's pirate ship was suddenly sailing through the skies of Neverland, heading back to the Darlings' home in London. There's a spot of tea, madam. But before Peter Pan and Tinkerbell started off for Neverland, they made Wendy, John, and Michael promise never to forget them, and they never did. What a sweet ending. So yeah, y'all, that's the end of the story. So the end. I know, just a recap. There's the last page. And there's them sailing off back to the Darlings' house. Then there's them on the pirate ship with Peter Pan and Captain Hook's clothing. And then there's when they defeated Captain Hook. And that's when Captain. That was also when Captain Hook is telling Wendy to walk the plank. Arr. And there's another page with Captain Hook in it, getting everybody ready on the pirate ship. well, taking everybody to the pirate ship. And then here's Peter Pan. Oh shoot, sorry y'all. And then there's Peter Pan and Captain Hook having their battle, or their um, duel, and Peter and Captain Hook trapping Tinkerbell into the lanyard. And there's when Peter Pan spotted Tiger Lily in the boat being captured by Captain Hook. And here's when John, Michael, Wendy, and Peter Pan got to Neverland. And here's when they were going to Neverland in the movie with that beautiful song, "You can fly, you can fly, you can fly." Not to be confused with I believe I can fly. And then there's Peter Pan getting John, Michael, and Wendy ready to go to Neverland when Wendy is sewing the shadow back onto Peter Pan. And there's the Darlings at their place in London. And then there's the beginning shot of the whole Neverland. Like I told you guys, it looks kind of like a map almost. And then there's the beginning of it where it says illustrated and adapted by. So yeah, y'all. Like I said, Peter Pan, one of my absolute favorite, one of the most underrated Disney movies. It's one of my favorite Disney movies. Surprisingly enough, we don't see Nana at all in this book. Kind of weird, but okay. But like I said, if you guys are a big fan of Peter Pan, I highly recommend to track down this book. Let me know how well I did in this video. I know I sprinkled in a little bit of jokes there, and references to other movies. I know that, but I just decided to just have fun. And I know like I said at the beginning of this video, I know my grandmother told me that to read this book before filming, but I just thought I got know it anyway. But I don't know if I didn't. I think I did pretty well reading, but I think I did my Mater and the Ghostlight book a little better. But I still didn't mind. But I still did pretty good reading this. And plus I added a little bit of jokes in there, like the Shrek the Third reference, and when we first see Captain Hook, I think. So yeah, y'all. So yeah, it's a very good book. It's a very good Leonard Golden book. Adapted very well. Adapted very, very well. Like I said, Michael Jackson, this is for you, bro. Rest in peace, my man. And also, like I said, I hope that in the new movie, Michael, they talk about how Michael was a fan of this movie, Peter Pan. So yeah, like I said, y'all. If y'all are fans of Peter Pan's this is the only adaptation of Peter Pan that I have seen, besides the Geico commercial, that is. But this is the only full-length movie of Peter Pan I've seen. So, I know there's other bootleg cartoons out there of Peter Pan, but they're not as good as this cartoon, Peter Pan. This will always be my favorite. But again, Steven Spielberg did Hook. Disney will later do Peter Pan and Wendy, and they will also later do in 2002. They also did earlier. They did Peter Pan Return to Neverland, which I never finished, and and Universal did a live action Peter Pan, and of course we had the 2015 movie Pan, with the awesome Nirvana song "Smells Like Teen Spirit" in it. But anyway. So yeah, y'all let me know how I did. And let me know, do y'all have this book? Do y'all still have it? Did y'all have it when y'all were younger? Because I didn't. I can't remember if I did or not. it's not like the Maynard and the Ghostlight book where I knew I had it when I was younger. So again, I'll leave a link to that video in the description down below. And but it's adapted very well. It's beautifully illustrated. That's the thing with Little Golden books; they're all beautifully illustrated. So yeah, tells the story of the movie really well. Like I keep on saying, it's was that except we're John and we're the darling parents. I don't know, but it's still pretty. It's still awesome, y'all. Just just a little bit of questions I might have, like where's Nana and where's the John and Michael and Wendy's parents. But still, great Little Golden book. I have some more Little Golden books coming up with y'all in the future, and I have some more videos in general coming up for y'all in the future. Because my next video, all I gotta say is on my next video is another taste test video. That's my next video, and like I said, which one did I do better in y'all's opinion? Did I do better in the Maynard and Ghostlight book, or did I do better in the Peter Pan book so far? Like I said, for the third time, I will leave a link to my Maynard and Ghostlight Little Golden book video in the description down below. So without further ado, stay tuned for my next video, which is a taste test video. Like I said, I love Peter Pan. I hope you guys do too. Let me know down below if y'all do too, and I hope COPPA doesn't block me like I think it will. But without further ado, I'm Spencer Lee, Film/World Guy, and yeah, please like, comment, subscribe, and all you gotta do is have a little faith, trust, and just a little bit of pixie dust. See y'all in my next video, which is a taste test video. And this is Spencer Lee, Film/World Guy, signing off.